PhD is the highest level of degree in any academic dimension or any academic domain. Additionally, if you want to explore some of the unprecedented kind of research, if you want to have a kind of look into the different sorts of domain where the people are having some excited problems to get solved, then PhD is something that is for you. Additionally, if you are trying to pursue an academic career in India, then PhD has become a kind of norm, means soon enough it will become a mandatory condition. Already, most of the institutes have done it, but still some of them are in the process. But the point is that when you are planning your PhD, if you haven't done your PhD as of now, then obviously the first question that comes to mind is who should be the guide? And this particular question might be haunted you because many times we do explore the different sorts of things. We talk to different people. We come into the chat domain of different people, and then we come to know that a particular person's experience was not so good, like that, and so many different things are there. In academic corridors, so definitely you must have come across all these sort of gossips and chats. So first thing first, that when we are trying to do PhD, obviously, as people do say that PhD is a kind of second marriage. You are choosing your partner again. So it's a kind of joke, but that's a bit true because the PhD is a long journey, at least 3 to 4 years or five, or in some cases more than 5, 6 to 7 years it also goes. So it's a quite long period. So it is nothing like that, that it just you simply move into any field and choose any person as your guide. It might be a kind of troublesome situation for you. So in this particular video, we are going to explore that if you are trying and if you have convinced yourself to pursue PhD, then who should be your guide, how to find a suitable guide, and what should be the kind of traits that a PhD guide should have. So hey there, my name is Rohit Kumar, and today we are going to discuss the 10 simple rules for choosing a PhD supervisor. So I have chosen this particular article, and this particular article is available in the PLOS journal. So here it is one of the PLOS journal article, and it's an open access. So you can go and have a look onto. If you are interested, you can go and have a deep study of this whole paper kind of article. So here they have started with the basic introduction that what is a PhD, what do you want to do in a particular PhD, why should you go for a PhD, and if you are going for a PhD, what is the requirement of having a right sort of person beside you so that you could reckon on to him, you could you can kind of having the sort of discussions with him, and might be sort of irritating sometimes, but still the kind of discussion that happens between you, that is going to be important, further leading to the some kind of improvement and the sort of good results that are going to get published in some sort of article or journal. So that is the sole introduction part that every PhD does have. Now coming to the first rule, because we are going to discuss the 10 simple rules. So first rule, they are saying that align the research interest. It is the one of the most fundamental rule, and from my experience point of view also, it is one of the most important, because many times we do think that we will do PhD in any field, but it doesn't happen like that, because you are not a master of all trades. You might be having some sort of knowledge in a particular domain based on your graduation, post graduation, like that. So try to have an honest opinion or honest analysis at your side, that which particular domain you are most comfortable in. And it is not about the comfort level, it's about the kind of passion you are having. If you are passionate for a new field, then you may jump into a new field, that's not an issue. But point is that if you are having some sort of background interest, if you are having some sort of a pre-experience in a particular domain, then you might be having a recurrent interest in that particular field. That's my sole point. So just to define your research interest very clearly and discuss with your guide, and then only you should move further. Because if you are trying to work in a different field, guide is interested in a different field, then you might be moving in two different directions, because two people not at all collaborating on a single problem or in a single research interest domain. Okay, so that's the first point. Moving on to the second one. Second one says that seek the trusted sources. In our PhD, it's not only the guide. There are number of people who come into sort of interaction with you, and you need to learn different sorts of things from people. So that's why you should always discuss with your supervisor, some of the potential colleagues, some of the potential people, and then discuss different sorts of opinions. And then you come to know that which are the people to whom you can trust. Means their opinions are kind of valuable and sort of different things. So seek the different opinions from the trusted sources, and that's how you come to know that these are the some valuable people from there. You can find your opinion. So if you are finding the true opinions or the trusted opinions from some of the people, then obviously one of them might be your guide. Okay. Third one is the expectation. During PhD, lots of expectation come into picture. So when you are discussing your potential problem or sort of research domain with your guide, then it also give you a kind of idea that what sort of expectation your guide is having, what sort of expectation you are having from PhD. So this intersection of expectations is very important, because if your interest is not lying with your guide's interest and sort of thing, then it might be going to have a problem. Additionally, there are different sorts of financial issues and related things. So all these things also means what sort of lab equipments, what sort of different step and the contingency, etc., you are going to get. All these things look trivial, but when you come into the domain of PhD, then if you want to publish a paper, go to a conference, but you don't have the contingency or the required amount at your side, or your guide is not able to provide you the kind of fund, then it is going to be a really difficult situation for you, because either you need to drop that paper from a good conference, or you have to spend some substantial amount from your side. So that is going to be a tough situation for you. So that is the third point, that always clear the sort of expectation from institute, guide, and every person's point of view. Okay. Moving on, then and yes, from publication side also, many times it is not clear that what your guide is expecting from you, because ultimately institute very vaguely they written minimum 2 SCI publications. Means most of the institutions are writing for awarding PhD in India, but generally people don't agree after 2 PhD, 2 SCI publications. Means they either want more or they want some transaction or something like that. So always discuss all these things very clearly. It helps you to finish your thesis within time, within stipulated time, and it helps you to not get burdened, overburdened. Because ultimately, if you are not meeting the criteria, then you are going to get burdened, which is ultimately going to affect you mentally as well as physically. Rule number 4: it takes a two to tango. Means it's always a case where two people need to have some sort of interaction, some sort of discussions, and that's why when you are having some sort of discussion with your guide, you need to have a certain sort of perspective, because many times we do have the sort of discussion with a particular person, we don't get kind of jumped into that particular discussion, because if you are not interacting with the person in front of you, how you are having a real conversation, that is not possible. Similar way, when you are interacting with your guide, don't think that he is guide or he is supervisor. Yes, he is, you should be respectful, but it doesn't mean that you are not supposed to put your true opinion, or I should say your gut feeling, in front of your professor or supervisor or the panel members, any other faculty member or whatsoever. Doesn't matter who the person is in front of you. If you are feeling that the thing you are believing in is right, speak it out. Because if you are not speaking it out, unless you are not sharing your true feelings, it is going to be really difficult for you to have a true sort of bond with your guide, supervisor, or whatsoever. So always, whenever you are having an interaction, do get involved. Then we are moving on to the rule number 5, that is the work style compatibility. It is also very important how you are supposed to work and how your guide is kind of having a routine to work. So that compatibility, if you tune with your guide or your guide tune with you, or by the grace of God, you both have the same sort of tuning, then it becomes very important, because it means it becomes really, really good, because it is going to give you a kind of boost in your research, because the two of you are going to have the same sort of research domain, you are going to working on the same problem, and you have the same sort of work style also. Then obviously it is going to be really good for you, because ultimately you are a early morning person, your guide is a late night person, or vice versa is there, then it is going to be really difficult, because you are not going to find a real long enough period just to have a good substantial discussion and all. So moving on to the rule number 6. So to be sure to meet the current students, again, very, very important point, because many times in one interaction or in half an hour discussion, on 1 hour discussion, you cannot judge a person. So that's why you should always discuss with the current students of a particular supervisor that what sort of feeling, what sort of experience they are having from a particular person. It is not about criticizing something. Means if your interest is not lying with the particular person, you are not compatible with the particular person, it doesn't mean whether you are wrong or he is wrong. Okay, it might be you are just not compatible. So it's not about that. If you are trying to access the current student, then you are means if you are interacting with the current student and trying to take some of their experiences, then you are doing some sort of gossip or you are doing some bad mouth publicity about the supervisor. No, it's not. You are just trying to make substantially good decision based on the experience of other people, which is the general norm. Every time when we take a decision, we take the opinion of others, and there is nothing wrong in this. And as the PhD is substantially long journey, and all sort of publication expectation, the contingency requirement, the sort of step, and the kind of provisions, say if you don't get the publications within time, all these questions will only come clear if you are having the interaction with the current students. And additionally, you can interact with the old students also. So the rule number 7 says the same thing, that it is not meet with the current students, because current students don't know that what is the final thesis submission and the related guidelines, what are the sort of issues there and all those things. So if possible, then try to meet with the past students also. Then you will have the whole idea about the submission and everything of a particular institute, means how your degree is supposed to get started till up to the sort of place where you are going to submit your degree. The whole process you will get to know, and then you can easily decide what you are going to do. Then coming to the rule number 8, consider the entire experience. It is not about having a single piece of a particular personality. Okay, many times we do think that a particular person is having very good publications, so he might be a good guide, or a particular person is very good in conversation, then he might be a very good kind of communicative guide or the having the helping hand, or a particular person is having very good contacts in foreign universities and sort of things. We do think so he might recommend me, I will get there and I will do the fabulous research and sort of thing. It's not like this always. Okay, you need to understand the whole personality, and that's why you need to take the holistic experience of a particular person. That's why you need to do different sorts of understanding from different perspective if possible, because many times it doesn't become possible to interact with a particular person so frequently so that you could get to know him from all particular angles. But the point is that if possible, try to do as much research as you want, because taking the opinion from multiple peoples will always help you to judge the kind of person that you are going to work with for the next 4 to 5 years. Okay. Additionally, discuss all the things with your kind of family also, and the sort of opinions. Take the opinions of your friends also. So when you take the experience of multiple people, means what are their opinion about a particular decision, it becomes quite helpful for you to decide the ultimate thing. Then rule number 9, trust your gut, because ultimately your gut feeling, when you take all the experiences, when you hear out all the people out there, then what is the true decision that comes automatically from your gut feeling. So that's why always trust your gut. Whatever you are feeling in your heart, definitely that is going to land you at the destination. Okay, so trust your gut. Finally, the rule number 10, wash, rinse, and repeat. Ultimately, like we do in the washing machine, the more you do it, the better or the clean version of the clothes are going to come out. Similar way, every time you are going to repeat the process, the more times you are going to do interaction with people, you more time you are going to take the opinion from the people, more time you are going to judge the sort of decisions that you have taken in past or you have interacted with people. All these things are going to help you in taking the better decisions. So think as much as you can and ultimately decide, okay, whether you want to go with a particular person or with a particular institute or not. If yes, then why? If no, then why? So all these things put together will help you to find the right sort of PhD institution as well as the PhD guide. So that's all from my side for this particular video, and hopefully you must have liked the video. There are a number of different PhD issues and the sort of things. If you have any particular issue, if you want that we should make a video on a particular issue, then please do comment below and let us know. If you didn't like this particular video, or if there was any shortcoming in this particular video that we should include, then please do comment and let us know. We'll definitely love to learn from your experiences. and we'll try to improve the videos further. Thanks for watching. Happy learning.